Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Carrie's Gardening Channel. Today is April the 28th, 2018, and I wanted to show you the daffodils, and the hyacinths are blooming, and I wanted to show them to you here today. So we'll take a tour. So this is one of our, it's a pale, like lemon yellow, with like an orange juice colored center. Really pretty, one of our daffodils. We have grape hyacinths blooming over here. Here's a white little patch of hyacinths with some of the double daffodils. They're not fully opened yet. Let me see if I can find another one here. There we go. This one's fully opened. It's opening up. And now, as you notice here, this patch, it's starting to fall over. It doesn't have too many blooms on it, and that's because it needs divided. So we will be dividing these later on then. And if your daffodils kind of stop blooming, or you notice that there's a lot of blooms that just aren't showing up, and they showed up in previous years, they probably need divided. So these definitely will need divided this year. That's why they're growing like this. That's why they're falling apart in the center. So we're going to have to divide these out then. Have some primroses here. And I want to show you, if you look here, this is off. These two here are off from the main clump. These are daffodils here. And they actually came up from seeds. So they came up from seeds that dropped from one of these daffodils. I couldn't honestly tell you which one it even is, because there's so many different beautiful colors of them. This is one of my favorites. I wish you can just see the clumps here. There's another one in there. And we're going to be dividing this patch out as well. This is a pretty big patch here. You can see how large it is. And these will produce seed heads when they're done blooming, and they do drop, they come up. If they're not pulled out for weeds, they will develop the bulbs, and I forget how many years it takes them to flower then. So here's some more daffodils here. See the different colors. Now, some daffodils bloom earlier, and some daffodils bloom later. So if you read like the packs, you'll be able to kind of have daffodils blooming for a while. Let's see what other colors do we have in here. Got a white and orange one down here. It's just starting to open. And we have some, let me zoom in here. We have stuff coming up all over the place. I really don't want to walk through the flower bed. That's like a yellow with a lighter color orange in the center. It's different than some of the other ones that I showed you. See some hyacinths here. We're trying to protect them so that the deer don't nip them. So we have a fence over top of them. There's another white and orange one. And you can see this big patch here, it doesn't have too many flowers for what it should. So we're really gonna have to be careful when we dig these out, that we don't chop or mess up any of the bulbs. I had some one year in my flower bed that I divided, and I started digging, and here it formed bulbs the whole way from the top of the ground the whole way down. So I really had to be careful when I was digging them out so as not to damage them. You can just kind of see here. It smells so good with all the daffodils blooming. I'll show you some more on some of the other beds. So this is one of my pink hyacinths here. I think the deer killed my heather bush. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to come back or not. I'm sure going to try. And here's some daffodils over here. There we go. That's a double yellow one there. And there's a white hyacinth. Now we do have on these over here, we have most of the stuff with fences over it because of the deer and the rabbits eating the stuff off. So we're trying to keep them from destroying the plants. You can see some more daffodils over here. Now, these actually change colors the longer that they're open. You can see there's some over here that are really pink, and then there's some that are more of like an orange color, and they change colors as they go. You can see some of my hyacinths there, and I have some, these are either bluebells or they're grape hyacinths, I'm not sure. My little TTs here, they're still blooming away. There we go. And these will actually, we'll be dividing those as well. Some of the other daffodil clumps that I showed you, I divided those I think like 2 years ago, and some of them kind of look like they need it again. So here's some white hyacinths. Here's a nice little clump of either bluebells or grape hyacinths. I'm not sure. I know we have both of them, but I'm not sure which one's which right now. Have some more daffodils back there. There's some more hyacinths. They smell so good. And I want to actually show you something here. These hyacinths here, they're not full like they should be. They're not the big blooms like they should be. And these actually need more food. So when they're done blooming, what I'll do is I'll cut the bloom stalk off because I don't want them to go to seed. If I let them go to seed, it's actually going to pull more energy out of the bulb, and I don't want to do that on my hyacinths and my tulips. So I'll be cutting the bloom stalk off, and then I'll be feeding them, and I'll do a video on that then to show you how I feed them, because I don't think I got to feed these last year. And the daffodils, I let those go to seed. I haven't noticed a difference with those, so I just let them go to seed. And here's some more daffodils. Now, most of these daffodils started out with maybe like 3 bulbs and a set together planted, and they have just multiplied. And that's the same way like with the other flower bed that I showed you. They have multiplied that much. It takes them some years to do that, but they will just keep multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. So daffodils are, they just keep going. And these here, they're like a butterfly daffodil in a way. The center reminds you of a butterfly. And yeah, I'm sorry about the fence. The fence is to keep the animals from destroying them. And I just wanted to show you these two. So later on we'll be dividing some of these daffodil patches, and I'll have a video then showing how to do that because I won't be doing that right now. And I know you see them growing along the roads and like at abandoned houses, and they just keep growing and growing. I don't have an explanation for that. I just know that in the flower beds, when you start seeing the blooms decrease and you start seeing like where they're trying to, the foliage is like trying to open and spread down on you, like lay down in the centers, that they need divided. I don't have the explanation for when they're basically just growing on their own somewhere, or I don't have the explanation for that, but just wanted to show you some of these. Got one more patch here to show you. And I wanted to show you some of these. I kind of forgot about this patch over here, but I remembered it real quick and I wanted to show it to you here. Or I just wanted to show you this one here. I love the colors of this one. And you can see my little tag marker in the back there. I planted some stuff. And I ran out of tags, so then I use whatever I can find. That's what that pink thing is. And then we have a hyacinth down here. And this one over here is like it's a yellow and white one. And they're really pretty. I like the texture that the petals have. It looks like you would have painted it with brush strokes because you can see the texture. I can see it on the camera. You can see the texture that the petals have. This is another daffodil here that's completely different. I believe they do have a butterfly mix, and I know I have that one, so that's what some of these are. Now this one here, it's a smaller daffodil, and it has like a really orange center to it. You can see a tulip back there getting ready to bloom, and there's lilies coming up. And this is they're a pale yellow color, very pale hyacinths, and we have more daffodils. Sorry about that. We have more daffodils over here. And some of our astilbes here are coming back. Now we didn't cut last year's growth down yet because we didn't want to lose where these were. So when they started coming back then, which they are now, we'll cut this down once they get big enough so we know where they're at. And here's some of the classic yellows we have up in the first area. So we're back in the first daffodil patch. And I just wanted to show it to you here one more time. And we're going to be having more blooming as they keep maturing. As the season goes later, we have some that bloom at different times, like I was telling you before. So, if you like my video, please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave them below and I'll try and answer them for you. Please don't forget to hit that little notification button. I'll tell you when I put a new video on. Thank yous for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye.